Welcome back to the second week of the Empire's SMP Season 2 recap. By me, your host, Recap 1. My loss of voice doesn't stop the grind, so let's get into it. This week, Stubble wants to be able to build a shop to sell potions, but needs resources to do so. Fortunately, she's confirmed to have a customer in Picturus, getting a bundle for him to get some mangrove. Plant at your own risk. Having all the resources to go to the Nether, she goes and finds the fortress. But a figure seemed to be in the distance of a tunnel. A demon used to live here. Finding a blaze spawner, she notes where it is, leaving, coming back later to build the farm. However, she didn't know that lighting up a blaze spawner wouldn't do anything to prevent them spawning, meaning she can't do what she wanted to do. So she left with 2 blaze rods to make a brewing stand. Her shop where the potions will be sold is built, looking rather large for a toadstool, and the fact that is purple. Next episode, she'll build the blaze farm. Picturus has finally been able to get all woods, now getting mangrove, which has been tested that you have to grow it on land, not on a dirt pillar, as roots are necessary. However, what was once necessary was an ancient ruin, looking like something from ancient Greece, but grey and abandoned. He plans for some of the ruins to have a monolith in the centre, as if they were markers or something. This would only be the first build of a planned ancient abandoned capital. Eventually, we should be getting bigger builds, but they do take a lot of resources though. Despite already having a nether fortress, he wants one in a better location so he can create a wither skeleton farm. Before finding the fortress, he finds an area where he plans to build a Froglight Farm, seeing a dense population of magma cubes there. After finding the ideal fortress, he's able to get 3 wither skeleton heads to fight the wither, making a beacon. But until he gets a tunnel or gets a sustainable source of rocket, he won't be building the farm just yet. Hora Scott has been working on making his skeleton XP farm, which has 2 different settings: magma for bones and stone for XP. Instead of just being a hole in the ground, he'll build a windmill above it, which will be terraformed while also having a path leading to it, surrounded by flower beds. Azuras, roses, daffodils, lilacs and peonies are easy to do, but cornflowers and alliums will take a slight while longer. After knowing of potential wood cutting areas, we have an important announcement: the name of his empire, Chromia, the Colour Kingdom. Fitting with his heterochromia, where you have 2 different coloured eyes, which he has. A slogan was made as well: come visit, it's a place to die for. Oh, do I like puns. Making better tools and enchanting would have been a good idea, but who cares? It's a passion project and pretty. His llamas are also pretty, getting new coloured carpets on them, all of a different colour, and grey, getting little ankle warmers. Slay, I guess. As not all dyes are from flowers, he makes a cactus farm to get dark green dye. Small and out of the way, but it works. Flower farm will be made on stream. Despite being 11 foot tall, he still has to clarify that he is not a short king. Then of proof of him being average height in the UK, but 1 inch shorter. Short men can have dreams, I guess. After taking gold from a child, he's going to be working on enchanting. But having no XP farm, animals and quartz are the next best option. A new form of entertainment is fishing people with fishing rods, specifically the sheriff and Lizzie. Dying once, miserable, lost all levels. Miserable the piglets will be, knowing that they are now more hated than horses. After turning his child with a protection book, he gets only a foxload of amethyst from Lizzie for a smile. Fortunately, he's able to get the rest of the stack for an efficiency 4, fortune 3, mending diamond pickaxe. Finally, he's able to build his new nether portal in the sky, which until I watched the video itself, I thought it was a Ferris wheel. Like, come on, can you blame me? Between episodes, fishing helped Gem get good stuff, like 5 diamonds for a pickaxe and an enchanting table, which she then proceeds to put on an island nearby, building a spruce bridge to it. But she notices a soul fire in the distance. In a cave is a trail which leads to her empire banner, but immediately leaves with it as caves are scary. But so everyone knows what the empire is about, she builds a lighthouse on top of her enchanting area, and in similar style to her empire, it won't be modern and will be rustic and medieval. It is then finished off with a larger warm flag. Once getting basic enchants and an interior to the lighthouse, we are introduced to her empire name. It's called Dawn, which can have a variety of meanings to it. False needs to know how long she'll be there still, so all doing is working on her base. Going to the Nether is terrifying. As always, with her gold boots, she notices 2 piglins dancing after a hoglin death. Confused, she left. But people haven't left her all alone, finding a path to gems, totally wanted to be found, and totally not an introvert. Being first this season, she builds a storage system. It may not be automatic, but at least someone can sort their stuff together in 2 weeks. In the middle of her base will be an iron farm, so she gets villagers from a nearby cave she made to come with her, through the caves again, into a box where they'll be for eternity. But they're used to that. Fixing her farm, preventing golems from spawning elsewhere, she notices someone's stuff on the ground. It is unidentified whose they are, but she takes the clothes and puts them on. Hopefully, nobody's watching. Tired of living in tents, Lucy wants a stable building in her empire, a community centre where her storage will be and where animals can talk about stuff. Getting the pickaxe from Joel for an entire stack of amethyst would make her project way quicker to do. This still doesn't help her feel overwhelmed with all that she needs to do for the centre. Chopping down trees, crafting both white and purple concrete, trading amethyst for a 17 stack of wool from Catherine, which hopefully isn't contagious, as something is off with that lady. After doing the walls for the roof, she discovers a mod which will build what you want at top speed as long as you have the blocks in your inventory. A shell it will be, as the interior will be built in the next episode. What Joe will be is a business pirate, as he is sick of mining and looting. Fitting to his theme, he'll be making a guardian farm, using its loot for a shop. Not having a name for a shop, neither does Empire, which potential names have been listed for. Those names include Crystal Cove, Enchanted Lagoon, Eversea, Crystal Moon Lagoon, and Forgotten Cove. Needing assistance to conquer the temple, he gets 6 of each water-breathing and night vision potions from Shelby. Building a little raft, he goes and kills the guardians, plenty of them, and going in search for the Elder. But he dies doing so, leaving all of his stuff in the temple, so he has to retrieve it all, but his sword is lost. Conquering the temple was the easy part, as dying 8 times building the farm was harder. Finding out invisibility potions will work from someone, proceeds to make them from his night vision potions, making his life much easier. He isn't able to make his AFK platform in the sky yet, as his elytra does not have mending. So he builds an AFK platform right next to the farm, dying and getting poor loot after 30 minutes of AFKing. At least those in the server chat are supportive. The shop will be made next episode and will be cute. Any ideas? Appreciated in a comment. Some may see it as a desolate wasteland, but he sees it as a land of potential to make a Froglight Farm, which he does, flattening the area, making holes, doing the redstone, getting all types of frogs. He was done, working efficiently to make Froglight. This obviously is a simplification of it all. So having these Froglights, he goes selling them, especially to a Gemini Tay, who could get 1 stack of them for 2 stacks of honeycomb. Going deep down underground, he finds a sheriff who found an ancient ruin, which had diamonds in it, but the sheriff took those, of course. So to preserve it back to its original state, Hooks will put down his own diamond ore back where it originally was. Then he'll put the fossil into a glass box. Eventually, in the future, he'll open this to the public once the entrance has been made. What I will call admitting to becoming a wandering trader by saying that he will sell what others might not sell. He needs quick transport to his Froglight Farm before the sheriff makes a gunpowder farm. He makes a nice boat road, yet llamas would fit a wandering trader. Pablo Jr. has gone to look for friends and family. Hopefully they are nearby. In the meantime, he returns his child back to Joel with a protection book in hand. Another complaint is made on how long the sheriff is taken with his gunpowder farm. The villager, which has just been cured, will be a banner maker, gaining his own building to do so, giving the Empire a banner. But we shall ignore that one bit of deep dark root on his build while transporting the villager. It doesn't mean anything. Unfortunately, Pablo Jr. doesn't make it back alive, dying to a berry bush, yet remains are in the water. Besides that, a piece of paper is left with his feathers with the coordinates on it. Pablo Sr. will know of this later. Going to the coordinates, he spots a house which is similar to a building that his family would have made. Breaking in, as you would, he finds his dog Bubbles and Eddie, a rabbit human creature who's a father figure to him as he raised him. Knowing that they would survive, in Sanctuary, they have a place of permanent residence, so permanent safety. Remaining magic, however, has been stored in the chests. Using his 4 brain cells on stream, he was able to build an automatic flower farm of oxides, daisies, daffodils, poppies, and a ton of seeds, which will be covered with a building eventually. But for now, God wants better than iron. He wants enchants. This will be on an island nearby, in a bowl. Fortunately, the witch allowed him to get mangrove, but what we do learn is that he used to travel a lot and meeting many interesting people, as well as some witches weren't as nice. A long story with what happened between him and another witch. Over it now though, so that's all good. Turning up with a weird boar creature like Pimba, Whip comes looking for orange dye, and in return, Scott gets warped to an island. Totally did not have to search that whatsoever. I know what all blocks are. Jim comes along wanting sunset colours, aka red, orange, and yellow, for a stack of honeycomb. Eventually, a wagon will be made to help yourself, but for now, just ask. Seeming to not be getting enough customers today, Elisa comes along for purple dye in trade for her own purple block, amethyst. 2 stacks of dye for 1 stack of amethyst. For once leaving, as it was going so well, he's called out on being a lonely single man in Crimea. True, but no need to rub it in. Finally, he's able to build an enchanting area, which you'll hate to get to before getting an elytra. Being luckier than most, on his first try, his diamond pick was able to get fortune 3, efficiency 4, and unbreaking 3. No need to show off. The earth has been shaken above Whip's empire, but that doesn't stop him from making an animal barn to house his pigs, having mangrove roots for walls, and replacing the stone with coarse dirt before finally getting the pigs in, proceeding to then breed them. But to build a barn he needs resources, so gets 2 shock boxes from a sausage and collects those resources. Proceeding to then build a barn, he makes the centre with mud so it's strong. He then raises the roof of it for his railway, which will then be connected to the main thing later. But as is the case, and caves are dull in colours, he contrasts this by adding a sign with a totally clear meaning. But more creatures have started to roam his area, adding a stylish saddle to them to travel in style. But for reasons though, these boars exist depending on how much he breeds the pigs. So more pigs he breeds, more boars will appear. To travel with these, a path is built from the barn to his starter home, then a wooden pathway cutting through a hole in rock to connect to the top section to get him to the surface. After making a 900 block railway to Catherine's from getting wool, he then goes to Scott as he desperately needs wheat, getting the right side of the field. The hay bales will be useful for later. A lava bucket in hand while he's in a hole is totally not threatening at all to Scott. The main stuff is all complete. Now she is all about trading, as it is currently the only way to get alliances. So having only to sell honeycomb as her duty of the Sun Princess, she needs to sell crops as well, which people can access through her new pathways to her empire. To make automatic farms, she brings complicit villagers to her empire. There'll be 1 villager per farm. Farmers there'll be for the rest of their lives, whether they like it or not. After an hour of AFKing, both carrot and potato farms are proven to be efficient. She'll then update her alliance and enemy tree. Alliances being Sausage, the Sheriff, Pixarus, and Scott. Currently, Whip is on defense for her, but she does have 1 enemy, however. A certain 11-foot man in the sky built his own honeycomb farm as well. That's her thing. But not being as tall as he is, leaves a threatening sign at the bottom of his pit. The sun is always watching. She then builds tiny houses for the villagers to live in, plus of market stalls ready to trade with. This would be to make her empire seem more cozy and filled, yet still efficient. Not having a main export yet, she decides to do tailoring and selling wool, leather and string with it, called Dream Designs. First shop with actually a name. However, for the farms to be efficient and have stock, she builds farms for each thing she sells, including the Cow Crusher 5000. We discover that far away she has built a spider spawner. Don't want to look at it though. Hopefully the sheriff won't mind her taking some terracotta and putting her name on the board, as that's totally how it works, right? In the shop, she tailors her first order, a witch's hat for Shelby, getting an IOU for. Someone else who's also getting orders is Shovel from Joey, having to make both water breathing and night vision potions, 6 of each. She'll then get both pink and purple dye from Scott to be able to cut down the never-ending mangrove. Be warned though, it gets everywhere. So everyone can find her. A witch tower will eventually be built. Getting to her nether fortress, she proceeds to build a blaze farm, barely getting out alive. However, she'll build a second one in the future. Having tons of blaze rods, she is ready to make potions, become an even more powerful witch if things go right. Eventually, she'd get her witch hat from Catherine, who begs her to give her a 5-star review on the shop. Yes, she will do, as it is perfect and exactly the way she wanted it. Seeing his child with an unbreaking book is the perfect gift, as it is exactly what he has been wanting on his elytra for ages. Then he brings back the child to Sausage with ancient debris, the hardest block to get in the game. While gathering resources for his star home, it gets weird by seeing a different pic of him when he was younger with each different resource he was getting. This house will be higher up than all the others and will be connected to his nether portal. proceeding to get lured by the fountain water when the island is complete. Jim's sign doesn't threaten him whatsoever and proceeds to fish Catherine, leading her to eventually die. Gathering more resources for his house, we get to see his Minecraft character dancing in the corner, especially that part where we can see that cake. 3 saplings are added to the fountain, giving him 3 trees on the Star House Island. Lizzie wants him to drop off obsidian at a distant location and builds a tree by it as well, because why not, even if it may not be shown in the video. This is because he is humble, generous, kind, sexy, gorgeous, cool and handsome. Thank you for watching this week's recap of Empire's SMP Season 2 Week 2. Turns out I'm not just a 1 week run and done kind of girl. Like and subscribe with the bell so you can be notified of my next recap. Goodbye.